The Sundarbans forest is the largest mangrove in the world, covering over 10,000 square kilometers between India and Bangladesh. It's a flooded forest, where the fresh water of two of the planet's most powerful rivers, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra, and the salt water of the Indian Ocean, come together. From this junction is born an inextricable network of saltwater canals that form an amazing ecosystem ruled by the mysterious Bengal tiger. For Bengalis, Sundarbans means beautiful forest. It provides them with the best protection against increasingly violent cyclones, but especially, the forest is brimming with game, fish, crustaceans, and wood used for heating and building. The families who live here are entirely dependent on the forest and have always been mindful of the balance between their needs and what the land can offer them. But over the past few years, this balance has been seriously disturbed, and the means to remedy it are lacking. Everything lies in the hands of local initiatives. How can humans re-establish the balance of this forest that is looked upon as a protective and nurturing mother by an entire people? For over a decade, Sirajul Hussain has been taking pictures of the mangrove. His photography documenting bird life in the Sundarbans is known throughout the world. His pictures reveal a mysterious universe. Here, over 300 varieties of bird live in an array of habitats: dry forest, wetlands, mudflats, and sandy beaches. One of the Sundarbans' winged residents has captivated Sirajul's attention in particular.
If anybody comes to Sundarban, the first thing will catch their eyes are the kingfisher. They are so beautifully here. They have beautiful color and they are very agile. They are very bold and strong birds. And almost whole day they stay on the branches and look at the canal, catch fish.
This canal is the kingfisher's territory, and the solitary creatures are on a mission to defend it against other members of their species. They dive into the river to hunt and spend so little time underwater that when they come back out, their impermeable feathers are never even wet.
You can also hear very strong voice there in the forest. They are very beautiful to listen to. And that actually give you the sense that you are in Sundarban. Because I don't think anywhere else you can hear so strong and so loud and beautiful bird song.
But once we venture inland, the forest harbors an entirely different kind of wildlife. The mangrove forest is 114 million years old, and for ages was completely free of human presence, because it has great dangers in store for intruders. The tidal, however, also known as the spotted deer, is harmless. It's one of the most common animal species found in the Sundarbans.
There are some deer came to eat, a group of about 60-70 deer. This place is full of with kevra trees. You can see around all those trees. The lowest leaf are in the same line like a haircut. This is because the deers actually they climb on their hind leg and eat all the leaves as far as they can. Here, the deer sometimes they have another companion which is the rhesus macaques, the only primate in this forest. This kevra tree has a small fruit, round fruit, which is very tasty to monkeys. But when they eat, they drop many of the leaves and many fruits they drop in the ground. And deer normally they follow monkey and they take the fallen leaves and fruits. And this is somehow a natural connection between the deer and the monkey.
But the unusual symbiosis that has developed between the deer and the macaques is mainly useful for defending against the same predator. Those cries are the alarm signal for the entire forest. For Sirajul, this unparalleled predator arouses as much fear as fascination. Even after more than 10 years, he's only managed to snap its photo once, an extremely rare picture worth more than all the rest.
So we were hearing this deer call, and this was advancing, and then some monkey started to, making noise. And so we were just thinking that something is happening. So we told our boatman who was rowing with his hand to go faster. We were just going through the canal. Slowly I saw a head came out behind the bush and slowly going and swimming across the canal. I took some shots. Some of my friends also took some shot, and that was fantastic.
That day, Sirajul took a picture of a Bengal tiger, Panthera tigris, the largest big cat on earth.
It was really a good feeling because getting a tiger photo in the wild is very rare, and I felt great.
The Bengal tiger is more than just the symbol of Bangladesh. It plays a major role in the equilibrium of the mangrove forest. Perched at the top of the Sundarban food chain, the tiger feeds mainly on herbivores, regulating their populations and indirectly maintaining the characteristics of the entire ecosystem. But the Bengal tiger also protects the Sundarbans from one of its greatest threats: humans, who for centuries steered well clear of the creature. Monirul Khan is hot on the tiger's trail. He's a biologist and studies the creature's habits and movements to ensure its protection. Bengal tigers are in grave danger of extinction. There are only about 100 left in the Sundarbans. Like all wildcats, tigers hunt at dawn and dusk. They're practically invisible in broad daylight. Studying one of the largest predators alive comes with mortal risks. Monirul Khan never ventures into the mangrove without an armed guard.
Professor, here are some droppings. I found some fur, look. Yes, those are tiger droppings. We see deer fur. These droppings are quite old. The fur tells us what the tiger ate. In the Sundarbans, we see very few tigers. I'm looking for the path this tiger took, the different behavioral signs that show us what it did. If it hunted, ate, rested, or walked about. Every track and sign a tiger leaves gives clues to its behavior. I'm noting this spot so I can locate it later on the map. These tigers have grown accustomed to the muddy, swampy climate of the Sundarbans and its forest environment. That's why they have no trouble swimming across a river that's 2 or 3 kilometers wide. Other tiger breeds can't swim that well.
The Bengal tiger made this region its home 12,000 years ago and has perfectly adapted to the unique forest that grows here, half on land and half in water. The reigning tree here is also amphibious, the mangrove. There are a dozen or so varieties. Fazul Ok is a biologist. He spent his entire career working to understand the incredible mechanism that allows the mangrove to adapt to what no other forest can stand up to: tidal ebb and flow.
This is a pneumatophore. You can tell from its shape which tree it's from. This is the pneumatophore of the Sundari mangrove tree. It's flat and very hard. The upper part is pointed.
As it is flooded twice daily, the soil in the Sundarban mangrove is poor in oxygen. Mangroves have a unique and ingenious way of breathing. Pneumatophores, a kind of breathing tube that grow upward from their roots.
When the tide's low, the trees breathe through the pores of their pneumatophores, called lenticels. At high tide, the lenticels close and trap the air inside the tree. The tree uses the oxygen and releases carbon dioxide into the water.
Mangrove forests trap 5 times more carbon dioxide than other forests in the world. The mangrove's other amazing feat is that it's able to thrive in salt water.
To cope with salinity, the mangrove filters out the salt, then absorbs the water. The tree then excretes the salt that's been filtered through its leaves.
The ingenious mangrove has also managed to put the tides to good use for reproduction. Rather than run the risk of drowning or asphyxiating its seeds, they germinate directly on the tree. After getting swept by the currents at high tide, the seedlings fall and take root in the sludge at low tide. After that, everything happens fast. The tree's root system emerges in 1 day, and the first leaves in less than 10. In 2 years' time, the mangroves are already several meters tall. This dense root system has an amazing attribute. It anchors trees in a particularly solid way, allowing them to act like a fence to slow down wind and water. Though they may not be able to stop a tsunami, mangroves can reduce the damage caused by the fierce cyclones in the Bay of Bengal. Mangroves offer precious defense for the entire country. But the mangrove forest is much more than a cluster of trees.
What we have here is a complex and diversified food chain. Each living creature plays an important role.
When the water recedes, it reveals a whole realm of curious creatures. Like the mudskipper, an amphibious fish perfectly capable of living on land during low tide. Its eyes are fully independent from one another, which not only gives it a broad field of vision, but allows it to see both under and above the water.